Hello, dear learners, and welcome to English Odyssey, your gateway to mastering English through the most captivating stories and biographies. Today, we embark on an unforgettable journey into the life of one of history's greatest leaders, Nelson Mandela. This is not just a story, it's a lesson in courage, resilience, and the power of hope. By listening to this story, you'll not only improve your English vocabulary, pronunciation, and listening skills, but also gain inspiration to dream big and never give up, no matter how tough life gets. So, grab your headphones, sit back, and let's dive into the incredible life of Nelson Mandela, a man who changed the world. Ready? Let's begin. Nelson Mandela, one of the most iconic figures of the 20th century, was a symbol of hope, resilience, and the fight for justice. Born on July 18, 1918, in the small village of Mvezo, South Africa, Mandela's journey from a humble beginning to becoming the first black president of South Africa is nothing short of extraordinary. His life story is not just a tale of personal triumph, but a lesson in courage, forgiveness, and the power of perseverance. For English learners, this story offers a chance to improve vocabulary, listening skills, and comprehension while being inspired by Mandela's unwavering commitment to equality and freedom. Mandela's early life was shaped by the traditions and struggles of his Thembu royal family. His father, Gadla Henry Mpakaniswa, was a respected chief, and his mother, Nosekeni Fanny, instilled in him the values of kindness and humility. Despite the simplicity of his childhood, Mandela's experiences in the rolling hills of the Eastern Cape planted the seeds of leadership and resilience that would define his life. Mandela's childhood was marked by simplicity and joy. He grew up in a mud and straw hut, surrounded by open fields and rolling hills. Life in Mvezo was far from luxurious. There was no electricity, running water, or modern amenities. But Mandela felt a deep connection to his community and the natural world. He spent his days herding cattle, swimming in streams, and playing traditional Xhosa games with his friends. At night, Mandela would gather around the fire with his family and listen to stories told by the elders. These stories, often about brave warriors and leaders, ignited a spark in young Mandela's heart. His father once told him, "A real leader is not someone who wants power for himself, but someone who serves his people." These words would stay with Mandela throughout his life, shaping his vision of leadership and service. The power of knowledge education played a pivotal role in Mandela's life. At the age of 7, he began attending a local Methodist school, where his teacher, Miss Mdingane, gave him the name Nelson. This was a common practice at the time, as African children were often given English names in schools. Mandela quickly became a diligent student, excelling in subjects like English literature, geography, and history. Mandela's love for learning was fueled by his curiosity and determination. He often said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." This belief drove him to study harder and dream bigger. However, his journey was not without challenges. As a black student in a racially divided South Africa, Mandela faced discrimination and inequality at every turn, awakening to injustice. As Mandela grew older, he became increasingly aware of the systemic inequalities in South Africa. The country was ruled by apartheid, a system of racial segregation that oppressed black people in every aspect of life. Black South Africans were denied the right to vote, own land, or live in the same neighborhoods as white people. Mandela could see the unfairness everywhere, and it deeply troubled him. At the age of 16, Mandela participated in a traditional Xhosa ceremony where boys became men. During the ceremony, the elders spoke about the responsibilities of manhood, but also shared their sadness about the state of their people under apartheid. Mandela felt a deep sense of duty to fight for justice and equality, a commitment that would define the rest of his life. In 1941, Mandela moved to Johannesburg, the bustling heart of South Africa. The city was vibrant, but full of challenges. Black people worked hard for little pay and lived in poor conditions, while white people enjoyed wealth and privilege. Mandela worked as a night watchman at a gold mine while continuing his education. He lived in a small, crowded room and often went hungry, but he never gave up. Mandela eventually enrolled at the University of Witwatersrand, where he studied law. He was one of the few black students at the university and faced discrimination, but this only made him stronger. During this time, Mandela joined the African National Congress, ANC, a political organization fighting for the rights of black South Africans. He attended secret meetings, listened to passionate speeches, and shared his ideas for a fairer South Africa. Mandela's involvement with the ANC marked the beginning of his lifelong fight against apartheid. He believed in nonviolent resistance, inspired by the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. Mandela helped organize peaceful protests, strikes, and marches, but the government responded with violence. Protesters were beaten, arrested, and sometimes killed. Despite the dangers, Mandela remained committed to the cause. He said, "Courage is not the absence of fear. It is inspiring others to move beyond it." In 1952, Mandela and his friend Oliver Tambo opened the first black law firm in South Africa, providing free or low-cost legal help to black South Africans who were victims of apartheid. In 1962, Mandela was arrested and charged with sabotage, treason, and attempting to overthrow the government. He used his trial as a platform to speak out against apartheid, delivering a powerful speech that resonated around the world. Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment and sent to Robben Island, a bleak prison off the coast of Cape Town. Life in prison was harsh. Mandela was forced to do hard labor in a limestone quarry and lived in a tiny cell with no bed. Despite the brutal conditions, Mandela refused to be broken. He used his time in prison to study, reflect, and plan. He even learned Afrikaans to better understand his enemies and taught younger prisoners about leadership and hope. After 27 years in prison, Mandela was released on February 11, 1990. His release marked the beginning of a new era for South Africa. Mandela worked tirelessly to negotiate an end to apartheid and prepare for the country's first democratic elections. In 1994, Mandela was elected the first black president of South Africa, a moment of hope and celebration for millions. As president, Mandela focused on reconciliation and unity. He supported South Africa's rugby team, the Springboks, during the 1995 Rugby World Cup, a gesture that symbolized the country's healing. Mandela's leadership and vision helped South Africa transition from a divided nation to a democracy. Nelson Mandela's story is a testament to the power of determination, patience, and forgiveness. He spent 27 years in prison for a cause he believed in, and when he was released, he chose peace over revenge. Mandela showed the world that even in the darkest moments, we can choose hope and love. Mandela's journey teaches us that no matter how hard life gets, we have the strength to keep moving forward. His life reminds us that every kind word, every act of kindness, and every moment we stand up for what's right matters. Mandela's story is a story for everyone, and his message will continue to inspire for generations to come. And that's the incredible story of Nelson Mandela, a man who showed us the power of hope, resilience, and forgiveness. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Your support helps us create more inspiring content for English learners like you. Subscribe to English Odyssey and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story. We've got more amazing biographies and English lessons coming your way. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, no matter how tough life gets, you have the power to make a difference. Thank you for being part of the English Odyssey family. See you in the next video.